How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
That was an autopilot.
Yes, Jay.
Okay, what you were talking about, it reminds me of, in the Bible, in the Old Testament, the Israelites wanted to have a king.
Yeah.
And God's like, you don't need a king, but okay, I'll give you a king, but you're not going to like it. You're going to be suffering for it.
Yep.
And it's funny because it reminds me of like different temptations and the idea of missing somebody. I sometimes miss old friends and get tempted to get back into contact with them, and sometimes I do that. And what's happening is I'm getting hooked back into something that I really don't need to be involved in.
Yep.
And suffering for it. But it's so tempting. It's like one of the layers of this like a enticing illusion.
And when the devil tell you to do that, don't do it, and you see it was just an illusion.
I sort of notice that. I notice that it's better when I don't.
Yeah.
But then it just keeps on coming back.
Yeah.
But I do notice that it helps me pay more attention to myself when I don't.
Yeah.
Or if somebody doesn't respond, then I'm forced to suffer and look at myself more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want you guys to do that this week. When the thoughts tell you to call someone, don't do it. See what happens. And as James just said, because you're living in a cage in your imagination, you're just going around in a circle repeating the same thing over, saying that it's going to be better. And it never is better. So when the devil say call someone, don't do it. And watch how he's going to work on you about it. Well, just call him. And he said, no, I'm not going to call him. And then a couple hours will go by, he'll remind you again. Oh, just check in, just to say hi. And don't do it. Don't do it. One little simple thing like that. For 1 week, give it a try. Because if God wanted you to call someone, he ain't going to be telling you that in the head. It won't be in thought. And it's not even you telling yourself to call someone. And he's right, because once you make that contact with him, because Satan said call him, all you're doing is get back into the same hell. And you wonder later, why did I ever call this person? I hate this person. This person hates me. But you're in a cage of the imagination. And you keep going around in that cage using the same darkness to think that the next situation will be better. Or the next time will be better. And it won't. You're just repeating the same thing over and over again. With a different person, at a different location, at a different time, but it's the same thing. And then you wonder, why did I ended up with the same person I thought I was breaking up with? This person seemed like a nice person when I got there, but this is the same person I just broke up with. Because you listen to the devil. And he just got you in a circle, and now you want to jump off a bridge. Isn't that amazing? So for 1 week, when it says to call, don't do it then. See what happens.
And if they call, don't pick up the phone.
What? If they call, you deal with them in consciousness. Don't go to sleep on it. I noticed too, speaking of don't go to sleep, every situation that we encounter is supposed to either wake us up or put us to sleep. Every so-called negative situation or so-called good situation. Have you noticed you either learn from it or you don't? You end up repeating it, or you learn something about yourself and you overcome it. But most people don't learn from situations because they're not paying attention to it. They're not conscious. I want to encourage you, and close it here, you got to practice being present. You really got to work at it. You got to work at it. And you got to bear this cross and count it all joy when you're bearing the cross. And when it gets so heavy that it feels like you can't do it, Christ will pick up the other end of it. Remember that man that helped Christ carry the cross a little bit? Christ will help you carry your cross. You can say, Jesus, help me with this. If the pain gets so great, the thoughts are so many, and so back-to-back thought, and you feel like, wow, and you feel like you just want to go and do it anyway, don't do it. Bear that cross. If it gets so heavy, Christ will help you. And you will get past it, and you'll be free. Amazing, huh? But you got to go through it. We have been lied to. And let everybody else put titles on themselves if they want to. And so let's say you've gone to school already, and you have a title, you're a doctor. Okay, somebody call you doctor, just accept it consciously. Don't feel all warm and fuzzy and get an idea about it, and I'm so special. Kind of doctor. Because if you ever stop being a doctor, then you're going to be mad. If somebody don't respect you as a doctor, you're going to give them some medication that will kill them. Right? Because you identify with doctor. Okay, any question?